making the headlines tonight. On his last day of his visit, Vietnamese president is invited to Prime Minister Hun Sen's home for a working breakfast, discussing important and regional matters. Minister of Social Affairs is aiming for 2 social workers in each commune to improve social services in Cambodia, assisting poor and vulnerable victims. Portuguese kitesurfer successfully sailed across the Atlantic using only the power of kites to pull his small boat. The first text message ever sent was sold at auction for $120,000 in Paris. This is the Daily Roundup on the EAC News Channel. A very good evening to you. My name is Paolo Bonini. During his second day of a state visit to Cambodia, head of state of Vietnam, Giang Chong Phuc, has been received at the Prime Minister Hun Sen's home for a working breakfast. The 3 sons of the Prime Minister, Hun Manet, Hun Manit, and Hun Mani, also attended the dinner. EAC News reporter Yuri Matosko has the story.
During the breakfast meeting held at Prime Minister Hun Sen's mansion in Tak Mau City this morning, the Prime Minister of Cambodia extended a warm welcome to the President of the Republic of Vietnam, who gave the highest honor to have a working breakfast at his mansion. During the family breakfast, which lasted for about an hour, Prime Minister Hun Sen and the President of Vietnam exchanged views on some of the work they had done together as head of government. The reunion had talks about solving problems that serve the interests and the people of both countries, especially the efforts to promote economic growth. The Vietnamese leader praised the historic and important achievements of Cambodia by the Cambodian people, in particular praising the national development, political and social stability, enhancing the role and image of Cambodia in the region and on international stage. At the same time, both sides expressed satisfaction with the development of the relations between the 2 countries in all fields, more effectively in the cooperation between Cambodia and Vietnam over the past 55 years, despite the spread of COVID-19. The 2 sides have also welcomed the bilateral cooperation in the fields of economy, trade, and investment, and agreed to promote the implementation of the Agreement on the Promotion of Protection and Investment, as well as the Agreement of the Avoidance of Double Taxation and a Facilitation of Trade, developing new trade and agreeing to promote the Master Plan on Cambodian-Vietnam Economic Connectivity. The 2 sides also agreed to expedite the signing of a border trade agreement and further agreed to expedite talks towards mutual recognition of passports, vaccination certificates, and vaccines to facilitate the travel of people on both sides, as well as facilitate trade and tourism. In addition, the 2 sides also agreed to promote and strengthen cooperation in the fields of defense, health, education, justice, as well as cooperation on international and regional affairs. In the meeting, Prime Minister Hun Sen has also thanked Giang Chong Phuc, who has supported Cambodia in the past to make Cambodia chair the next ASEAN Summit. Yuri Matosko, EAC News.
The President of Vietnam, Giang Chong Phuc, accompanied by his high-level delegation and the Cambodian Minister of Tourism, Thao Kun, paid courtesy visits to the Buddhist Great Supreme Patriarch, General Tep Phong, at the historical site Wat Unalam. He also visited the Buddhist Supreme Patriarch Bo Gri at Wat Svai Bo Per on Wednesday morning. These visits are part of the Vietnamese president's 2-day official state visit to Cambodia, which began on Tuesday. EAC News reporter Dashana Gochan has more details.
The Buddhist Great Supreme Patriarch General Tep Phong extended a warm welcome to the Vietnamese president during his visit at Wat Unalam and expressed his gratitude to the president for taking the time to visit Cambodia and inquire about the Great Supreme Patriarch's health on this special occasion. The Vietnamese president and the Great Supreme Patriarch exchanged high-value souvenirs with each other as a symbol of strong solidarity for the people of Cambodia and Vietnam. The president also expressed his gratitude to the Great Supreme Patriarch for his continuous promotion of Buddhism, especially for the cooperation in the field of Buddhism between Cambodia and Vietnam. Concluding his visit at Wat Unalom, the Vietnamese president and accompanying delegation proceeded to pay a courtesy visit to Buddhist Supreme Patriarch Bu Kri of the Judiciary Committee in Wat Svai Pope. Supreme Patriarch Bu Kri welcomed the visit and stated that the Cambodian people will never forget the help and courage of Vietnam to help liberate Cambodia from the Khmer Rouge regime, which lasted close to 4 years. The Vietnamese president shared that he respects the right to freedom of religion and considers religion to be part of people's spiritual needs. He added that Vietnam and Cambodia are good neighbors and have good relations in all fields, and he especially thanked the head of government and the Cambodian people for providing both vaccines and medical equipment to Vietnam at difficult times during the COVID-19 pandemic. The president wished the Buddhist Supreme Patriarch Bu Kri a long and strong life in order to continue to contribute to the Cambodian government in leading the Buddhist sector to grow and prosper. Darshana Gochan, EAC News.
Speaking at the launch of the book, Strategic Plan for Social Service Force Training on Child Protection 2021-2025, Minister of Social Affairs, Veterans and Youth Rehabilitation, Vong Sort, has stated that vocational training in social skills is important to strengthen the capacity of social services, especially to provide higher efficacy on social services to victims and vulnerable people. News reporter Yuri Matosko has the story.
Secretary of State for the Ministry of Social Affairs, Samhan Barros, said at the ceremony the Strategic Plan for Social Services Training focusing on child protection 2021-2025 was supported by the United States Agency for International Development, Japan Population Fund, and UNICEF. He added that the plan was drafted in mid-2020 and approved by the Minister of Social Affairs in February 2021 and has now been officially announced. The Minister of Social Affairs, Veterans and Youth Rehabilitation, Vong Sot, stated the goal of the ministry is strengthening capacity building of the social service to participate in social change, community building and development within the sectors in community that mostly needs. He added that a well-developed social service force is a key to promoting social justice, reducing discrimination, and changing social attitudes that are dangerous towards vulnerable people. The social service helps to prevent and respond to violence, abuse, neglect of children, and all forms of exploitation of humanity. The main purpose of a strong force of social service is to achieve a society that promotes non-discriminatory participation of all kinds of people, such as women, people with disabilities, or the poorest in the society. The minister stressed that social service force is a common vision that refers to professionals and associate professionals in both government and non-governmental organizations working with children, youth, adults, families, and communities to ensure development and well-being. Taking the chance of speaking at the launch of the book A Strategic Plan for Social Service Force Training on Child Protection 2021-2025, the minister also instructed all relevant units to provide continuous opportunities for training and professional development, strengthening human resources capacity, focus on data management, and information sharing at all national and subnational levels. He has also ensured the government must continue to build a mechanism of social that is in line with regional and global instruments, in particular promoting active support for the social protection system and enhancing closer cooperation with all stakeholders, both nationally and internationally. In 2012, Cambodia had about 1,551 social service providers, while a recent study found that Cambodia has one social service force per 12,500 people. The number is still insufficient for the deployment of one or two social services in the community, requiring a national plan to increase the human resources of the field. According to the plan, the government plans to create more than 7,000 social service workers at the national and subnational levels, including NGO partners. Minister Vong Sot is aiming to have 2 social workers or 2 deputy social workers in each community to improve the social service force in Cambodia in order to solve problems of poor and vulnerable victims. Yuri Matosko, EAC News.
The Cambodian Minister of Foreign Affairs Prak Sokhonn co-chaired the 19th meeting of the Cambodian-Vietnam Joint Commission on Economic, Cultural, Scientific and Technological Cooperation with the Vietnamese Foreign Minister Vu Thanh Son via video conference on Sunday. During the meeting, the two foreign ministers expressed their satisfaction that Cambodia and Vietnam have maintained close relations and cooperations in every aspect and at all levels, despite the complicated developments of the COVID-19 pandemic. Both sides shared the view that 2022 will be another significant milestone in the bilateral relations between Cambodia and Vietnam, as the countries will be commemorating the 55th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations. They urged to mark 2022 as the year of friendship between Cambodia and Vietnam. The meeting was held also to review the progress of the implementation of the record of discussions from the 18th JC meeting in 2022, and to further discuss and exchange views on various bilateral topics of discussion regarding politics, security, trade and investment, and socio-cultural cooperation. The two sides agreed to sign and implement a number of bilateral documents, including the Memorandum of Agreement on Education Cooperation for 2021 to 2025, the MOU between the two countries' respective ministries of agriculture, and the MOU on the cooperation strategy in the transport sector for 2018 to 2025. Regarding trade, the ministers noted with satisfaction that the two-way trade volume between Cambodia and Vietnam reached nearly $6 billion in 2020 and is projected to reach $8 billion in 2021. On investment cooperation, the Cambodian side proposed an establishment Cambodia-Vietnam Special Economic Zone inside the Cambodian territory along the border with Vietnam. On tourism, the two sides agreed to closely develop the post-COVID-19 tourism recovery plan together and also explore possible joint tourist packages for vaccine passport holders. Both sides also expressed appreciation for the mutual support in financial and medical supplies for the fight against COVID-19. Regarding security and combating crimes, the two sides agreed to step up coordination. Both the Cambodian and Vietnamese ministers underlined the commitment to continue supporting each other in regional and international forays, particularly within the Asian and the UN frameworks. The Vietnamese minister particularly pledged to fully support Cambodia's ASEAN chairmanship in 2022. He also accepted Minister Prak Sokhonn's invitation to pay an official visit to Cambodia in 2022 at their mutual convenience. Phnom Penh Capital Hall has decided to support the Labour Rights Union of the Cambodian Workers of Naga World and has requested the union to prepare a list of workers who wish to claim compensation and those who wish to return to work, so that the Capital Hall can mediate with the company to resolve the issue and make settlements. EAC News reporter Dishana Gochan has more details.
According to a press release issued by the Phnom Penh Capital Hall on Tuesday, stakeholders attending the Naga World Labor Dispute Resolution meeting were able to convene on 4 main points of action, the most important being the move to prepare a list of workers who want to either receive compensation or return to work. Phnom Penh Capital Hall also decided that Naga World should take the list of workers to verify their registration with the Ministry of Labor, and on the side of the workers' union, they should publish a decision to stop the strikes and to give the competent ministries and institutions time to mediate and resolve their disputes. The Naga World Workers' Protest Rally began on Saturday and has so far lasted for 4 days. The workers' union has accused the company of violating labor rights by laying off more than 1,300 employees this year. Additionally, more than 300 workers have refused to accept compensation packages offered by the company. Naga World, in turn, has accused the workers of engaging in illegal protests. Darshana Gochan, EAC News.
The government of Japan has stated it will provide 10 waste collection trucks worth $250,000 to 10 provinces of Cambodia under the framework of the Grant Assistance for Grassroots Human Security Projects. Besides the 10 waste collection trucks, the kingdom has also received dozens of vehicles and motorcycles from the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, which were used by police forces. The vehicles were given during a series of talks and meetings by the President of Vietnam in his official visit to Cambodia. EAC News reporter Yuri Matosko has more details.
The grant contract was signed on Tuesday between Cambodian Minister of Environment Sai Samal and Japanese Ambassador to Cambodia Mikami Masahiro. According to a press release of the Embassy of Japan, the assistance will contribute to protecting the public health and the natural environment, which will improve the quality of life of over 530,000 residents in the 10 targeted areas. Japan's Kusanoni project started in Cambodia in 1991 in order to support Cambodians' reconstruction and development in the grassroots level. The assistance aims to protect those who are vulnerable due to various factors, such as poverty and tragedies, as well as to promote self-reliance of local communities. Since 1991, the government of Japan has provided over $64 million for mainly local authorities and non-governmental organizations to implement 650 Kusanoni projects throughout Cambodia. The Kingdom of Cambodia has also increased its number of police vehicles, a gift from the Socialist Republic of Vietnam during the 2-day visit of Vietnamese Head of State Nguyen Xuan Phuc. The vehicle consists of white police cars of the Vietnamese brand VinFast and Honda motorcycles given to the Cambodian Minister of Interior on Wednesday morning. Yuri Matosko, EAC News.
Cambodia's daily COVID-19 numbers now stand at 120,430. 3 new cases were recorded overnight. 9 patients were successfully treated and discharged yesterday evening. That makes the total recoveries 116,824. But unfortunately, 1 person died of COVID last night. Cambodia's total deaths since the beginning of the pandemic now stand at 3,006. Active cases are still in decline and stand at 600. Defective goods, especially food products, can be exceedingly harmful to health. Over the past years, Consumer Protection, Competition and Fraud Repression, CCF, officers nationwide have taken steps to ensure that consumers are not purchasing potentially dangerous products. Earlier this week, officials of the CCF in Takao province have destroyed a huge volume of food products that were deemed unsafe for human consumption or unfit for purpose. Much of the food goods had expired beyond their sell-by date. EAC News reporter Dashana Gochan has the story.
The operation was held on the 20th of December at a landfill in Snau village, Takeo. The Director of Consumer Protection, Competition and Fraud Repression, Srey Sambat, together with other enforcement officers, publicly incinerated 3 tons of defective goods, most of the products confiscated from the markets in Takeo's capital area. According to reports, the goods that were destroyed weighed a total of 2,935 kilograms. Director Sambat has stated that the goods destroyed included canned goods, milk, as well as other processed foods and beverages that had expired. Others were much more serious infringements, as they contained harmful chemicals including methanol. The director appealed to business owners to keep correct business practices and not add banned chemicals to their goods. The director also urged them to check the expiration dates of their products, as the effects to the public could be exceedingly harmful. In recent months, the sale of illicit alcohol has caused the deaths of scores of people, bringing concerns from authorities of the quality of products being sold to the citizens. Darshana Gochan, EAC News.
Thailand will reinstate its mandatory COVID-19 quarantine for foreign visitors and scrap the quarantine waiver from Tuesday the 21st of December due to concerns over the spread of the new Omicron variant of coronavirus.
The decision to halt Thailand's test-and-go waiver means visitors will have to undergo hotel quarantine, which ranges between 7 to 10 days. Meanwhile, a so-called sandbox program, which requires visitors to remain in a specific location but allows them free movement outside of their accommodation, will also be suspended in all places except for the tourist resort island of Phuket. Government spokeswoman Thanakorn Wangbon-Kongchana has announced that after December 21, there will be no new registrations for Test and Go, only quarantine or Phuket sandbox. He added that about 200,000 visitors who had previously registered for the quarantine waiver and sandbox program will still be eligible. The announcement came a day after Thailand reported the first case of local transmission of the Omicron variant. Thailand has detected 63 people infected with the Omicron variant so far. Its public minister, Anutin Charnvirakul, has confirmed, with one case of local transmission and that the rest being imported cases. The first locally transmitted case was found in a Thai woman who tested positive for Omicron after contracting the virus from her husband, a Colombian who has returned to Thailand from Nigeria in late November.
On Friday, the WHO has issued an emergency use listing for the Novavax vaccine, made by the Serum Institute of India, the world's largest vaccine maker, paving the way for its use in low and middle income countries, where the rollout has been much slower than that in Europe. The WHO's Strategy Advisory Group of Experts on Immunization, known as SAGE, have issued a series of recommendations, including the use of vaccines in persons with comorbidity and breastfeeding women and those living with HIV.
After reviewing Novavax data, the independent experts have claimed the vaccines could be used in pregnant women if the benefits of vaccination to the pregnant women outweigh the potential risks. Novavax said on Monday it had received the WHO's emergency use listing for the company's own version of the vaccine, which will be distributed in Europe and other markets. The company has also announced on Tuesday it had begun administering its first booster doses of the NVX-CoV2373 in a late-stage trial in people 18 years and older, paving the way for a fifth coronavirus shot in the region as the Omicron coronavirus variant spreads. Data from two large studies show the vaccine has an efficacy of around 90%, the European Medicine Agency has said, adding that there was currently limited data on its efficacy against some variants of concern, including Omicron. Novavax has added that it will start shipping vaccines to the EU's 27 member states in January. BioNTech, Moderna, AstraZeneca, and Johnson & Johnson had already been approved for use in the European Union. But faced with surging infections, EMA has been speeding up reviews of other shots and treatments. Novavax protein-based vaccines use alternative technology to the other four shots, which makes it more interesting to the European Union as it has sought to diversify its portfolios of vaccines. COVID-19 infections have broken records in parts of Europe in recent weeks, with governments and researchers scrambling to bolster defenses against the fast-spreading Omicron, prompting renewed curbs ahead of the Christmas holidays.
Now for a look at news making international headlines this Wednesday, the 22nd of December.
Iran's Revolutionary Guards have fired ballistic and cruise missiles on Tuesday during war games in the Gulf, amid growing tensions with the United States and Israel over possible Israeli plans to target Iranian nuclear sites. Guards Chief General Hossein Salami says the use of ballistic missiles by the Revolutionary Guards Navy is a new concept and they hit their targets with 100% precision. Iran says its ballistic missiles have a range of 2,000 kilometers and are capable of reaching arc foe Israel and U.S. bases in the region. On Monday, Iran has warned of a crushing response to any move against it by Israel, which opposes efforts by world powers to revive Tehran's 2015 nuclear deal and has long threatened military action if diplomacy fails to prevent it from acquiring a nuclear bomb. Iran says its nuclear ambitions are peaceful. Israel is widely believed to be the only Middle Eastern country with a nuclear arsenal. The exercises also included the simultaneous firing of 5 cruise missiles and the launch of armed drones capable of hitting 2 targets each. The 5-day drills began on Monday. The 5-day annual exercise that began on Monday came days after the breakup of talks to revive Tehran's nuclear deal with world powers. Iran has accelerated its nuclear advances as negotiations to return to the accord struggle to make headway. Israel has repeatedly threatened unilateral action against Iran's nuclear program. As the military exercise kicked off Monday, a top Iranian commander threatened that any Israeli strike will draw an Iranian response that targets all elements of the infrastructure used in the attack, an apparent reference to the range and accuracy of Iran's missiles.
Bridge collapses into a river in Marana town, Santa Cruz, central Bolivia on Monday as heavy flooding sweeps road away. The heavy rains have also damaged dozens of houses and crops. Santa Cruz authorities have not reported deaths. A footage on Tuesday shows flood water had not receded in parts of Malaysia, with search and rescue operations continuing. One of the worst-hit neighborhoods, Taman Seri Muda, in the country's most populous and richest state of Selangor, still saw vehicles half submerged after unusually heavy rainfall had started on Friday. Selangor Chief Minister Amiruddin Shari has confirmed on Tuesday at least 17 people in Selangor state had been found dead, but is not certain if all the deaths were flood-related yet. 8 Malaysian states have been hit by the floods this week, displacing more than 70,000 people, according to the National Disaster Management Agency. Malaysian Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob has acknowledged weakness in flood management as the blame game began over the slow response in the country to one of the most devastating floods in recent memory. Critics, particularly from the opposition-ruled Selangor state, have slammed the government for not taking the situation seriously when flood waters began rising precipitously, with questions being raised over whether bureaucratic foot dragging also delayed rescue operations. Selangor Mantri Besar Amiruddin Shari has said on Tuesday that the state had been preparing for floods since November, but the unusually bad weather saw the amount of rain for 1 month falling in 1 day.
And heavy snow has caused disruptions in Turkey's mainly Kurdish southeast and eastern province, blocking roads and leaving motorists stranded. A footage shows drivers struggling to push their vehicles through snow drifts. Authorities have said 30 drivers were rescued on Sunday and roads to 63 villages were shut because of the blizzard. The Meteorology Office has said strong snowfalls will continue in southeastern and eastern parts of Turkey in the coming days.
After the break, a look at all the latest sports news.
EAC News fully supports the Royal Government of Cambodia's preventative and administrative measures against COVID-19. But we need you to play your part in helping bring the 20 February community transmission event to an end. Wash your hands regularly, sanitize wherever possible. Keep an eye on your body temperature. Use the Stop COVID QR code and maintain a safe social distance. But above all, please, please, please wear a mask. Only together can we beat COVID-19. EAC News' audience is growing. Our YouTube channel has over 150,000 verified subscribers. To mark the milestone, we've received the Silver Creator Award from YouTube. It's given to channels with over 100,000 subscribers. YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki says the award celebrates EAC News' hard work and incredible achievement. She says we brought a unique voice and style to the world, but have also created valuable connections and built a community along the way. The next milestone we're going for is 1 million subscribers, and we'd really like that Gold Creator Award. So if you're not already a subscriber, head to YouTube and search for EAC News. Subscribers get alerts when the daily Roundup is premiering and live events are streaming. Get all the latest breaking news and updates from Cambodia in English. The EAC News channel on YouTube. Cambodia made clear. If it's happening and you need to know about it, you'll get it all right here. EAC News brings you updates and breaking news in English across all of our platforms and channels. The EAC News app, YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and our website www.eacnews.asia. Join me, Andrew Barnes-Roberts, and the rest of the EAC News team every day on your favorite channels. EAC News, Cambodia made clear.
Two female Cambodian karate experts have won 2 bronze medals at the 17th Asian Karate Championship Seniors in the city of Almaty in Kazakhstan. The event lasted for 4 days, from the 19th to the 22nd of December, and had the participation of athletes from 45 countries across Asia, including the Cambodian national karate team.
After 2 days of competition, the Cambodian athletes have won 2 medals. Lim Sok Vichika won a bronze medal in the women under 59 kilograms category, and Chorn Srepia won a bronze medal for the under 21 women's under 55 kilograms event. Lim Sok Vichika expressed her happiness after winning the bronze medal, as this is the first time she has participated in the Asian Championships. She said she is very happy even though she did not win a gold medal, since this is her first time participating. Lim added that this is a good result after going through 4 tough matches. Some athletes of the Cambodian national karate team have already finished their involvement in the competition, while some others will continue to compete on the 21st and 22nd of this month, for the hopes of bringing more medals to the nation.
Portuguese kitesurfer Francisco Lafina successfully sailed some 6,400 kilometers across the Atlantic, using only the power of kites to pull his small boat. The 38-year-old adventurer set out from Cascais, near the Portuguese capital of Lisbon, on November the 3rd. He has arrived in the Caribbean island of Martinique on the 20th of December, and is now looking forward to receiving his Guinness World Record.
Lufinha was only at sea 25 of those days. However, a planned stop at the Canary Islands was prolonged due to the adverse winds forcing him to remain there from November 8 until November 30.
This has been a hell of a challenge. There have been some problems with water getting inside the boat, inside the battery compartment. I've been having a few worries and some trouble to get it out, but I'm managing. And also some kites have exploded. I have now 3 standard kites, 2 7-meter kites and 1 25-meter big one. So I wish I had some more intermediate kites, but no. So I'm now using the 7-meter, very small kite. But it's fine. We're moving about 12 knots from 10 to 15, which is okay.
Lufinha made the crossing completely on his own in a 7.2 meter long and 5.6 meter wide trimaran with a small. He acquired fresh water for his trip using a hand pump that converted seawater via reverse osmosis.
So I only take 15 liters of fresh water to drink, and that's in case of emergency, or at least for the last days. So to produce water, I need to use this water maker. I have 2 of these, which I can pump, and every hour I can make around 4 liters of water. So it uses inverse osmosis, so it removes the salt from the seawater, and I can get 4 liters of water every hour. And I do in terms of 10 minutes every time. So like this, I can drink water and I can use the dehydrated meals so that I can get some nutrients inside.
All the power needed on board was generated using solar powers, and Lufinha steered his launch using remote controls that positioned his kites. The kite-powered vessel reached top speeds of over 30 kilometers per hour. With his mission completed on the other side of the Atlantic, now Lufinha hopes to be inducted into the Guinness World Records for the fastest Atlantic crossing in a kite boat.
Hello!
Chinese tennis star Peng Shuai said on Sunday that she had never accused anyone of sexually assaulting her, and that a social media post she had made earlier last month had been misunderstood. Peng's well-being became a matter of concern among the global tennis community and human rights groups when she alleged that a former Chinese vice premier, Zhang Guoli, had sexually assaulted her in the past. After that post, she was absent from public view for nearly 3 weeks.
On 2nd November, Ms. Peng posted a 1,600-word note on Weibo addressed to Mr. Zhang, claiming they had a romantic relationship and that he had also coerced her into sexual intercourse. The post was swiftly scrubbed from Weibo, but not before it went viral. Ms. Peng then vanished from public life for weeks, sparking concern worldwide about her safety. A "Where is Peng Shuai" hashtag campaign was launched, fueled by calls from other tennis stars including Naomi Osaka, Serena Williams, and Novak Djokovic. The Women's Tennis Association has led calls for an investigation into her initial claims. Chinese state media subsequently published pictures of her and carried a widely questioned email that she purportedly wrote to the WTA where she said everything is fine. The International Olympics Committee also spoke to Ms. Peng twice in video calls, in which she reportedly said she was safe and well. But many continue to believe the tennis star is under state duress and is being censored. Peng's remarks on Sunday marked the first time she had addressed the matter on camera in public. She spoke on the sidelines of a cross-country skiing event in Shanghai. Peng said in the video posted by Lian Zhaobao, a Singapore media outlet, "First, I need to stress one point that is extremely important. I have never said or written that anyone has sexually assaulted me. I have to clearly stress this point." She said that her post on Weibo, a Twitter-like social media site, which had been quickly removed, was a private matter. 35-year-old Peng said in the video that people have many misunderstandings about her Weibo post. She did not elaborate on this any further. She also said she has been living at home in Beijing without supervision. In the video, she was not asked about Zhang and she did not mention him.
Now let's have a look at the weather and see what you can expect for tomorrow. And finally, the first text message ever sent on the 3rd of December 1992 from Britain's Vodafone network read Merry Christmas and was sold at Auget's auction house in France on Tuesday for a whopping $120,000 as a non-fungible token.
And a simple message, Merry Christmas, is worth $120,000. The text, which was sent on December 3rd, 1992, was put up for auction by British telecoms company Vodafone. The online auction, organized by a goods auction house in France, has taken place on Tuesday. In France, it is forbidden to sell intangible goods, so a goods auction house gave tangible forms to this first text message with this digital frame which displays the code, the protocol, used to send the first text message. The buyer has received a replica of the original communication protocol that transmitted SMS, and proceeds will go to the UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency. Vodafone engineer Neil Papworth has sent an SMS from his computer to a manager in the United Kingdom, who received it on his 2-kilogram orbital telephone, similar to a desk phone but cordless and with a handle. Non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, are a type of digital asset that has surged in popularity this year, with NFT artwork selling for millions of dollars. Traded since around 2017, these digital objects, which encompasses images, videos, music, and text, exist on blockchain, a record of transactions kept on networked computers. Each NFT has a unique digital signature.
Thank you for watching the Daily Roundup here on the EAC News Channel. For more breaking news and updates, check out our website, eacnews.asia, or search EAC News on Telegram or at your favorite app store. More from the EAC News team tomorrow night at 8 p.m. We'll see you then.